How's it going, everybody? So, huge announcement yesterday. Year 4 was announced and we're gonna go into details in just a second, but it's Christmas season, so we're going to talk charity first. The For Honor creative community has done something really special this year. 15 artists came together and created these amazing scenes for you. It's 4 postcards in total that are available. I will put the Etsy link into the video description. Price is around €550, depends on where you are and in which currency you pay. All the profits from these sales are going to the ocean cleanup charity. So if this is something you'd like to support and get some nice art out of it, then please go and take a look. I'll provide all the links down below. But back to the Year 4 announcement. There's lots of things to talk about, so let me just preface this really quick. I'm not trying to sell you on anything here. Whether you like the upcoming changes, which are rather big, you should make up your own mind. All I will give you is my opinion on them and what I think this could indicate. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen, and if you think it means something completely different, then please feel free to share your opinion. The 2 biggest takeaways and the things that probably tie into each other the most are that the next year will only... Not sure whether I should use the word only here, but yeah, 2 characters instead of 4. Depending on which other content creators you watch, you probably heard some doom and demise stories already. I'm looking forward to hearing some of the mental gymnastics. But that's probably what others claim about me as well. So yeah, what does it mean? You'll be cutting down new characters from 4 to 2. There is the possibility that they just moved personnel to other projects and they only got the workforce for 2 more new heroes. Who knows? Might be. The other possibility, and what's more likely if you read the statement, is that they will try and concentrate more on the testing grounds. This indicates that we will get more and most likely quicker changes for the older roster. The change from Season to Battle Pass also supports that theory. I'll get to the Battle Pass in just a second, as that's a huge change as well. The previous years had Season Passes and the March and Fire DLC. The selling point for these were always the new heroes and the early access to them. We got 6 heroes the first year, 4 the next, and Year 3 had 4 again. So the hope is that we get exactly what the community has been asking for all this time. Only 2 new characters and more focus on rebalancing of the old ones. With the testing ground feature, we will also be way more involved in the whole process. Not for the new characters probably, but getting to give feedback on changes should, in theory at least, result in better and more viable characters. When looking at the roster, we can also assume that the 2 new heroes will most likely be wool-in. We have 7 characters for Knights, Vikings and Samurai, but only 5 for the wool-in. So that will balance it all out and especially avoid people crying about faction bias. Just imagine if only Viking and Samurai, for example, did get new heroes. The absolute shit show that would occur on Reddit and everywhere else. So if I'm wrong, please don't be one of the people that claims that kind of nonsense. It's like the faction war is rigged horseshit all over again. Just don't. Please. But talking about shit show, I'm really curious about the reactions in regards to the Battle Pass. For Honor is moving away from a Season Pass and to a Battle Pass. As I've hinted at earlier, I think this is because it's hard to sell a Season Pass with only 2 new characters. A Season Pass is always more about new content, and not as much about fixing old stuff. So I personally think the move from the one to the other is quite smart. I personally only ever played one game that had a Battle Pass, which is Dauntless, but the fact that it's more about in-game rewards here frees up resources that would otherwise be going towards the development of the new characters. So combine this with their intent to improve the old roster, the decision to go for a Battle Pass this year, simply from a business perspective, makes perfect sense, and if they actually deliver on that promise, then I'm absolutely in favour of this. In case someone doesn't know what a Battle Pass is, well, I don't know how other games handle this exactly, so please correct me if I'm wrong. Well, basically, we have tiers that we can unlock. 100 tiers, I think they said, simply by playing. We might be getting points or experience or a new currency or whatever, and with those, we move through the tiers. There will be 2 different rewards per tier. You have the free pass and then the battle pass, which you will have to pay for. That's how they make money. That's how they keep games going. They said that it will be items such as ornaments, steel, colours, watches, champion status, embossings and more for the free pass, so everyone can unlock these simply by playing. The whole system rewards activity, and the Battle Pass gets additional rewards such as signatures, new weapons, new executions, new effects and more. So the whole incentive here is exclusive cosmetics. From a balance perspective, these are probably the healthiest items that you can sell for actual cash. We haven't had any pay to win cries in a long time, but if pay to fashion bothers you, then I honestly don't know what to tell you. A few things I want to mention in regards to the Battle Pass though. When I had my Battle Pass in Dauntless, it kinda motivated me to log in every day and keep progressing, to unlock everything. Well, to a degree I paid for it. I did shell out some money, so I want to get everything that's possible. This is a double-edged sword. On one hand, this might increase the activity and motivate people to play more. On the other hand, this might increase botting once again, so I hope Ubisoft keeps an eye out for this. Another thing is that right now, if people log in, they do their orders, maybe grind a bit to get a specific execution effect or whatever, but that's pretty much it in terms of goals for the most part. With this new system, you will be able to look at every single unlock that's coming up for you. This means even for people that have everything unlocked with steel that they currently want, they will still have a clear goal. Well, if you actually want something from the list of 100 plus items. One of the issues I've encountered is that what happens if you want something really far down the line? The one interesting thing that you might want is in tier 82. What about the 81 before that? Are you stuck with having to grind through them all? Or will they offer us a way to skip ahead? These usually cost quite a bit, so maybe they'll give us the option to buy specific rewards early on for some extra steel. We'll see. Same could be said for people that don't own the Battle Pass, but really want one item from it. Remains to be seen whether we get a workaround. Which is a little counterproductive after all, as there should be clear incentives for the players to buy the pass. It supports the game, so too many ways to devalue it aren't that great. So let's wait and see how they're going to handle this one. If it feels like a ripoff, and for many the sheer mention of Battle Pass is enough for that, then the whole thing might backfire. The concept of paying to have the chance to unlock something is probably not too appealing. You pay for it, and then you still have to play. But what if you don't have the time? I hope they don't try and push it too hard at the end of a season and make people pay even more. But overall, the industry seems to move in the direction of Battle Passes to support the live service games. I'm curious to hear everyone's opinion on this, because considering that the new characters aren't included in the pass and everyone has to unlock them and that there's no early access to them anymore, the playing field has never been as even as next year. But there will be complaints, there's absolutely no doubt about it. The live service games need some form of steady income, it now just depends on how receptive the community is about the new approach. More info in January next year, so we get a solid month to freak out over it. Let's make the best of it. But moving on, there is more. There was also a statement about competitive For Honor. I know that some of you might roll their eyes now, well maybe not that many of my viewers, but certainly a few people in this community did when they heard about it. For some weird reason, in our community, the really good, aka the competitive players, are looked down upon and made fun of. So there is a massive disconnect between the casual player base and the competitive one. The fact that Ubisoft states how important the competitive nature is for them might bring up some concerns for a lot of players, which I'm not quite sure about why exactly. I guess what I'm trying to get at here is that Ubisoft needs to make an effort to bridge that gap. They need to make it clear to all of the community that competitive is not something bad, that it's in the way or even counterproductive to the enjoyment of the casual player. Being competitive in a game is something that everyone can enjoy. It works in so many other games, playing ranked or even just trying to take a game serious enough to simply attempt to win and try your best. That's really all it is, trying to improve and giving it your best shot. That can be fun as well, it's not all about the memes and the emote spam kits. It's just a matter of perception, and the fronts seem to be rather solid when it comes to this in For Honor. Ubisoft has some work to do here. If the community is left to their own devices, then it'll probably never change. This also means to get into a dialogue with the comp scene and ask them what they think they need to improve the scene. We've seen Ubisoft make an effort, there is absolutely no doubt. We do have spectator mode now, and we had tournaments with steel prices on all platforms. That's great, but we need something consistent. As of now, it's up to the community to organise the tourneys, get sponsors and so on. But we still have the issue of viewers. Unless people start changing their opinion about the comp scene, these people will never watch tournaments. Meaning, this has to go hand in hand. We need to get players to want to watch, because I have no doubt that a properly casted tournament can absolutely be a lot of fun to watch for every player, no matter the skill level, no matter the platform. What I'm getting at is that Twitch drops might be a good way to kinda trick people into watching. Yeah, there will be lots of them just lurking or not even watching at all, but it is a solid method to prop up viewing numbers and to get people actually interested. If the content is not good enough for them, then yeah, it's a wasted effort. But as I've said, the tournament gameplay and casters like Verbulosity will absolutely speak for themselves, and I have no doubt that we can get people to enjoy it the same way they do other esports games. Maybe you guys can help me out here. If you don't enjoy competitive, let me know why. What is it exactly that puts you off? And I don't mean participating, I mean watching it. You guys do consume video content of the game. What is it about tournaments that doesn't make you watch? Depending on what kind of answers I get, I might address them separately in another video, because I actually really would like for more people to enjoy that side of the game. Maybe I can convince some of you. And maybe Ubisoft can as well. I'm really curious what they got planned for that next year. But yeah, that's it. More info apparently next year in January. I will try and keep you up to date with any news and things that will get announced. Until then, I hope the video was interesting. Thanks for watching. Laters everybody.